G'day guys, so I've left Rio, left Carnival behind. Ooh, a good number of days of partying in Rio. Sure does take its toll. We have come down the coast 4 hours to a place called Parity. Real nice little chill place. I'm in a great little hostel. And I thought I'd put together a little video of some of my hints and tips about how to stay safe in Rio, because to be fair, it's probably one of the most dangerous places I've visited. But if you have the right knowledge and use common sense, you can have an absolutely great time. So here are my top 10 rules on how to stay safe in Rio. So this is rule number 1, don't draw attention to yourself. So that means when you go out, you're not wearing any kind of jewelry, no watches, nothing fancy. You don't want to give someone an excuse to follow you. You don't want to give someone an excuse to try and snatch something out of your hand or anything like that. So just don't take anything out with you. Rule number 2 is just take out enough cash for the day. Doesn't matter whether you're going to a market, whether you're going to the beach, whether you're going out clubbing, partying, or whatever. Just take enough money. Then if the worst does happen and you end up getting robbed, or you get pickpocketed, you've only lost a day's worth of money, which in the big grand scheme of things isn't too bad. Rule number 3, withdrawing cash. A lot of people, they'll withdraw cash from a cash machine that opens out onto the street. You do not want to do that at all. People watch those cash machines and they see who withdraws a lot of money, and then they'll go follow them, then they'll rob them. Okay, so you want to go inside the bank, withdraw your money from inside the bank. And to be fair, a lot of the banks do have a lot of cash machines inside. So if you do that, you're reducing the risk of getting robbed. Rule number 4, and this is just one tip that I saw on this recent trip to Rio, is that the 100 rail notes and the 2 rail note, they look very similar. And I saw a couple of instances where somebody had gone to pay with 100 in a restaurant or with a taxi, whatever, and then they claimed, oh, you only gave me a 2 rail. You only give me a 2 rail, because both the notes are kind of a blue colour, and one's slightly bigger than the other, but it can be misleading. So my advice is to carry 50s instead. Rule number 5 is don't walk alone after dark. And I must admit, I did break this rule myself. But when it gets dark, you want to be walking in groups, 3s, 4s. You're less likely to get robbed in that sort of situation. I had one instance where I went out partying and I told everybody this in the group, and we all agreed to stick together, and unfortunately I got lost from the rest of the group. I ended up walking home alone. To be fair, I should have got a taxi or something like that, but what I did do was I walked with other local people, so that I kind of was part of their group, and it seemed to other people that I was part of their group. Okay, rule number 6 is if you are going to take a taxi, take an Uber. I'm not getting paid by Uber to say this, but from my experience, Uber are cheaper, they're safer, and if you don't speak the language, I mean, I don't really speak Portuguese, but it's excellent because you can put in the destination you want to go to, and that automatically feeds through into the driver's satellite navigation system. So there's no communication issues about where you're going. It's all nice and easily done. Plus, payment is electronic, so there's no problem there either. Rule number 7, and that is the fake taxi money scam. So if you take a taxi in Rio, and to be fair, in South America in general, sometimes you'll get a bit of a corrupt taxi driver, and what he'll try and do is, when you go to pay, they'll swap. Let's say I pay with 50 reals, they'll take that 50 reals, substitute it with a fake 50, like a really crappy version of a 50 real, and then give it back to you and say, hey, no fake money, no fake money. So then you'll give him another 50, and he's effectively being paid twice or even more if you know if you have to give change back. So what I do is when I give the money, I say this is a real 50 or whatever, and I make sure that he knows that I know what the scam is. And don't give him time to, like, you know. The other thing is, if you can watch him, then they won't try and swap out the fake money. Rule number 8 is don't accept drinks off anybody. It don't matter whether they're hot, you fancy them, you're in a bar, you're in a club, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting some attention here. You just don't accept drinks from anybody. Could be drugged. And if that's the case, then you're probably going to get robbed, you're going to get your cards stolen. If you've taken them out with you, you're going to get your bank accounts emptied. There's also been instances where people have been kidnapped, and then they've had their card, they've gone to the cash machine every single day until they can get all the money out of the account, and then they'll let the person go. So don't accept drinks from people, don't matter who they are, how hot they are, whether you think you've pulled or whatever. Just avoid it completely. It's not worth the aggro. Rule number 9, if you do get robbed, just stay calm. Just do what the robber is asking you to do. Generally, they'll take command of the situation, and just hand over your money, whatever you've got on you, and that'll be the end of it. You know, he'll go on his way, he or she will go on their way, and you can go on your way. Okay, if you're in that situation, the worst thing you can do is panic, because then the other person might panic, and then God knows what will happen. So just stay calm, hand over what you need to hand over, everything's fine. Rule number 10 is using mobiles and cameras. So if you've got any fancy kind of gear, fancy phones, fancy camera gear, you're gonna have to be smart about using this kind of stuff. I think if you're in a large tour group or something like that, then you can probably take the good camera gear out with you and take some nice photos. Otherwise, leave it at home. You're just going to draw attention to yourself, and it's not worth the aggro. And similarly with phones, if you take a phone out with you and you need to use the phone, don't do it on the street. Go inside a bar or into a restaurant, something like that, and then use your phone there. Put it back in your pocket and then leave. Okay, it's far more safer. Okay, it's not all doom and gloom in Rio. There's some great things to do, and those locals are super friendly. So on a positive note, here's some of my must-do things in Rio. And number 1 is definitely Christ the Redeemer. I mean, this statue is absolutely insane. The views across all of Rio, Copacabana, Ipanema, like, you can see everything. It's absolutely fantastic. My tip, get an Uber up to the top, then pay 42 reals to get a little shuttle bus up to the top. You can take good gear up there because there's not too many problems. If you try hiking up, it's going to take 2 hours, and then you could come into problems with people robbing you. But if you take an Uber, then take the shuttle bus, absolutely no problems, and the views are stunning. Number 2, beaches. Go check out Copacabana Beach, go check out Ipanema Beach. Some people say one is better than the other. I thought they were both the same. I liked both of them. But yeah, go check those out. Have a day at the beach. Fantastic. When in Brazil, you have to try the caipirinhas, the cocktails that made with the cachaça, spirit, the limes, the sugar. Absolutely beautiful. Just watch out, don't have too many. Because the amount of sugar that they put in them, you're going to put on weight quite quickly. But definitely try them because they're amazing. Another thing that you need to try in Rio is the food. And one of my personal favorites is the salgado. And that is, they're like deep fried little snacks, which after a few beers, go down an absolute treat. And some have got like chicken inside, some of them hot dogs, some of them like cheese and stuff, and then they're deep fried in a batter. Oh, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. Also, the bar scene in Rio is great. I stayed in Lapa and went out, well, pretty much every night into Lapa, and the bars there are absolutely fantastic. Sit chilling on the outside of a bar, watching people watching the world go by, talking with friends, having a laugh, having a crack. You should also definitely check out the music. I mean, Brazil is famous for samba, so you want to go check out some real life samba. And last but not least, if you get the opportunity, please do go check out Carnival. It's insane. I wish I'd have been able to have got more like quality footage, but as I've mentioned, I couldn't really take my gear out with me or anything like that. I took an old phone out with me. I'm not quite sure if the footage from that is quite good enough, but let me tell you, it is one huge massive party, and you should definitely, if you get the opportunity, go check out Carnival. It's fantastic. If you like this video, then show me some love, hit the like button, subscribe. I'm gonna do a few more videos like this. Also, if you've got any comments, other hints and tips that you think other people should know about, then put them in the comments below. I'll link the hostel that I stayed at in Rio. I'll link that as well because it was an absolute fantastic place, and it was super safe. It had 24-hour reception, great security, and everything that you can kind of need from a hostel within Rio. So I'll link that below as well. So all I say now is goodbye, take care, see you in the next video.